Welcome to the podcast.
Hi guys, what's up? I welcome you to another episode of Young in Love. And on this episode, we're going to be talking about bills and splits. Who should pay on a date? I'm not going to be talking alone as usual. On today's episode, I have a very special guest, someone who's dear to my heart, my lovey-dovey. She's no other than my one and only sister. Say hi.
Hi, Young in Love listeners.
Okay, your energy is high today. Okay, so, there's this tweet that I saw, and, a lady shared her experience with a guy in Lagos.
Wow.
And it was a horrible experience, you know.
Woo.
So, yes, it was a horrible experience. So later on, I think we're going to, get her to share her experience. But for now, both of us would converse.
All right.
Tell me now, what kind of lady are you when it comes to like dating and paying bills when you go? Are you the old-fashioned lady, the man should pay? Or you're the progressive millennial, like I should split the bill with him? What kind of lady are you?
Well, I would say I'm an old-fashioned lady. I expect that on a first date with a guy, he should pay the bills.
He should pay the bills.
Yeah.
You're old-fashioned.
Yeah, especially when he initiates the
date.
The date.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why do you think he should pay? Just because he's the one initiating the date?
I could pay, but I'll do that when I get quite comfortable with you. Yeah.
So
I
like,
can't do that on the first.
Why not? Why can't you do it on the first date?
That's just me.
That's just you.
Yes.
Okay, so do you have like an experience you want to share, good or bad? I mean, with guys, dating, splitting bills and all that.
Yes, I have an experience. While I was in Abuja serving, there was this guy who wanted to go out with me and for quite a while.
Yeah.
And in the end, I accepted. We went out before we got to the popular mall in Abuja. We entered one. That's
What do you mean by
Keke.
one? Oh, Keke.
We met at a place.
Okay, so it was not like a drop.
No, it was not like a drop. We
Wow.
entered Keke. We trekked to
An
the
Abuja
junction.
sun, eh?
I'm telling you, it was terrible. We trekked to the junction, and then we entered one. We'll stop at another junction, enter till we got to the
And
mall.
like, was he paying for all of those? Did he pay for everything?
Yes, but with some reluctance, though.
What do you mean by reluctance? Like he hesitated to pay?
To pay, like he expected me to pay for mine, and then he paid for his. I think
Ouch.
in one of the drops, I paid
Oh, you paid?
Yes.
For yourself and for him?
for just myself.
Wow.
Just myself, and
Okay.
then he brought out his.
Wow.
And so when we got there,
So he's forcing you to split the bill.
yeah, you could say that. So we got to the mall and then we sat, and the menu was before us. He looked through the menu and he said, I can't see anything in this menu that I like. And I was just looking, and
Oh my God.
we just sat
But
down.
like he
looking.
took you there.
Yeah, he took me there.
Wow.
He took me there. And so the waiter came. It was really embarrassing because she was like, Ma'am, what do you want? And we couldn't really get any.
Did you place an order?
I didn't place an order because I was waiting for him. He brought me there.
Okay.
So I was waiting for him, and he said he didn't like anything. So it was obvious he didn't really have enough money on him.
Okay, but wait. As a gentleman, did he ask you to place an order?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Yeah. So after much, discussion, back and forth, he then asked me to look at the order, to look
menu,
at the menu,
yes.
to see what I would like. And then I looked at it. I was considerate enough to know that he didn't have enough money, so I just went for an
So like he
orange
sized
juice.
his pockets.
Yes, I went for an orange
Ladies,
juice.
I think that's an important thing. You got to size the guy so you don't kill him.
I went for an orange juice of 600 naira, and guess what?
100.
He couldn't pay for that juice.
How did you know that?
Because we were sitting down there, and after I told him, okay, I wanted the orange juice, he kept scratching his head. He kept looking left and right. And I was already getting very uncomfortable. So at the end of the day, he said, I think we should leave.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Are you serious?
After the whole trekking under the sun, entering one, to get to the mall. And I just stood up and we walked out of the mall. I entered my keke and I zoomed off.
Just like that?
Just like that. And I was asking myself, who sent me walk? like, Lacey, who sent you?
Wait, just like that.
Just like that. We didn't have any discussion. We did nothing. And this was someone that has been
on
my neck for over like months.
Wow. I'm so sorry you had that experience.
Yeah,
personally,
thank you.
I've had an experience as well. And like, this is not just some random guy. This is someone I was in a relationship with. I was on my own. Oh. My sister, I was on my own. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And he called me and he said, "Oh, babe, what's up? I want to take you out. Are you free? I was like, okay, I'm free. Let's go out. And he was like, come to the cinema then. And when I got there, we were supposed to see movies. So we just like snapped a picture or maybe a couple of pictures. And then he was like, if we buy movie tickets for two, we will not have transport to go home.
Wow.
He said that to me. And in my mind, I was wondering.
And you guys were dating then?
We were dating. So,
Wow.
I was supposed to play the role of the understanding girlfriend. Yes.
I get.
So, I didn't really complain. But in my mind, it got me thinking, like, this is the major reason we came out to see movies.
see a
and
movie.
you're saying if you buy movie tickets, do you understand? We will not have transport. Thank God for what my mama taught me. That at every point in time, have money on you. Even if it's 500, just something. You never know when you need the money.
Yeah.
So we went home. We did not watch, just like your experience. We didn't watch the movie that day. And I remember visiting him once. And when I was going home, he put me in a taxi. Not like drop, normal public transport taxi. He put me in one. Now paid the driver the money to cover just the distance of that particular taxi.
Okay.
And he took the change.
Wow.
So for the remaining distance,
You were to foot your bills.
Yeah, exactly. So that for the gentlemen, I need you to listen up. There are things that ladies will not say to you, but somehow they expect it of you. And me, I'm not, feminism Nigerian branch sometimes take things to the extreme. So I don't belong to that school of thought. When it comes to bills, I don't think that rules should be made around bills.
Yeah, true.
Anyone can pay the bills.
Definitely.
The way I see it, whoever is initiating the dates or the outing should pay. I don't have a problem paying bills like on a date when I go out with like a guy. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I don't have any problem at all, provided I'm the one initiating it. If it's your birthday and I'm like, hey, I want to take you out, I'll pay. If it's you calling me, let's go and swim or let's go to a
You
diner,
pay.
right? You pay. Do you understand? So at this point, I want us to like listen to if you're very familiar with Twitter, you should have seen the tweet of this Lagos hot chick who was embarrassed. In fact, she said it that men will embarrass you. If you've seen that tweet, you should just stay tuned and we're going to like hear from her now.
About a week ago, I was on a date with someone and I met him through my cousin and we had texted for a while. And he was all about, I want to see you. So I'm like, oh, okay. All right, I'm free on this particular day. But then if you want to take me out, you have to come and pick me up. So on that day, he comes to my house to pick me up. And then we go out, takes me to a restaurant he had been on about. And then we get there, we talk a bit and, we ask for the menu and order food. And then the food comes and while we are eating, this guy just goes, oh, you're going to pay for the food. And I'm like, okay, all right. I laugh at him because I think he's joking, obviously. I mean, why would I pay for the food? You are taking me out. I mean, if I was the one who said I was taking you out, if I was the one who initiated it out, and I would have it at the back of my mind that I'm going to pay. Because I feel like anyone who's paying for the bills at a lunch or dinner or an outing generally has to be the person who brought up, the idea of going out. So anyways, we're done eating and then the waiter comes to clear our table and give us the bill, and then this guy doesn't pick up the bill or anything, and he's just on his phone texting. And I'm like wondering what's going on, because like you obviously are not expecting me to pay for a meal you invited me out to have. Hell no. So anyways, I see that he's unresponsive, so I beckon onto the waiter to give me the bill, and then I point out what I ate on the bill. I got a drink and rice, and this guy ordered like bam. Anyways, I just made sure, because every time I go, I always make sure that I order what I know I can pay for. I always make sure that if I'm eating something, it has to be something I can foot, the bills I can foot. So I point out what I got to the waiter and paid for what I got. And then the waiter is standing there, obviously, because the bill hasn't been fully sorted. And the guy is asking me, why is this? I'm like, because I only pay for what I ate. And then he starts to flare up and he's like, but no, that's not the plan. I already told you that we're going to pay. I'm like, that's what you're saying. This doesn't make sense. If you had told me beforehand that, I was going to pay, that's a different thing. But how do we get there? We're already eating and you've already ordered. Then you're telling me that I'm going to pay. doesn't make any sense to me. So anyways, it's on and on and on, and then the waiter goes and calls like other people, and then there's kind of like a drama, and it was really embarrassing because people were starting to look, and then it was getting like the voices were getting high and everything. I'm just like, damn, bro, because I'm trying to leave, and then they won't let me leave because the bill hasn't been fully settled yet. Like until we pay in full for what we had eaten, none of us are going to be able to leave. And I'm just so upset, and I'm really angry and everything. Anyway, he pays for the food. I don't know how he did it, but he made a few calls and then he paid for the food. And then we step out to the parking lot, and I get into the car, obviously, because you came to pick me up from my house. If you cannot pay the bills, the least you can do is drop me back at home. I don't understand. And then this guy like, oh, I should get down quickly. He wants to check something. And then I get down, and then he gets back into his car and he zooms off. And I'm left like pretty speechless and confused as to what's going on.
Oh wow, Coco the Lagos Baker, I sympathize with you really, because that is a horrible experience, and I don't think anybody should have to go through that, especially because they were invited to this date. I think I must commend you really, because personally I think I have learned from your tweet. You said when you go out on dates, you make sure to place orders for things that you can pay for. So you don't order anything that on your own you cannot afford. And I think that's like a very important lesson. Thank you so much for being on the podcast, even though you're not like here. So guys, her Twitter handle is Coco_Lagos. Go check her out. She's a very pretty lady and she's single and ready to mingle, guys. Coco, thank you so much and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Yes, bye. Coco the Lagos Baker. Like I seriously, we are sorry. Let's echo that. Want to go? We are sorry. Like no one should have to go through that. Like how do you even take someone out and not have money? You know, in some cases they don't have enough money.
In the first place, he doesn't even have money. Not to talk of having enough.
Right.
Else he would have been able to like pay
at least something.
Yes, for himself. Since she had already paid her own bills.
I just think that guys, please don't do that. If you don't have money, don't pester, because from what she said, this guy pestered her. I want to take you out. I want to take you out. I want to take you out. And now she's ready. You're telling the waiter she's paying. Without
so annoying.
Without a prior conversation. I feel that is like really wrong. And then towards the end, when they left the restaurant, you can see that he refused to take her home. And this is a lady you went to her house to pick her up for the date. And now, because something has happened that you orchestrated, that you caused, you asked her to like get out of your car.
So if she didn't have
transport
money on her, what would she have done? That's crazy.
My sister, it is on your own. That is why it's also good as a lady to have money with you when you're going out.
I say that every time, and you know, mommy also taught us that.
Men will embarrass you.
Money on you.
Men will embarrass you. Don't do it at all. My sister, have money on you.
No matter how little it is.
Yes, transport money.
Because you don't know what to expect.
Yes.
You don't know what to expect.
Yes. I think so. Now, the kind of person that I am, if I were in that case, what would you do? Let me ask you, what would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah, like a guy takes you out and he's telling the waiter she'll pay. And at first I would think it's a joke.
Yeah,
like,
I would actually think it's a joke, especially since he orchestrated it. Yeah, since he initiated the date. But then because I already have that attitude of making sure I have money on me, I would pay my money and walk out. Yes, so that is what I will do.
Yes, I think when you see that a guy is just acting up, then do your stuff, pay and leave.
In the end too, I see maturity in her. For her not to have argued with him, caused a scene, in the place, that was very mature of her. Yeah. Of course, she had money on her. So if there was a lady that didn't have money on her at that point, it would have
She'll be at his mercy.
Exactly. In Lagos.
So do you think like this is a culture thing? Expecting guys to pay?
Okay, I would say from my experience in the Western world, when I had the opportunity to interact with them, I see culture being played out because they split bills.
Split bills.
Yes. Okay. You could see a husband and a wife come in with children to a restaurant, and the wife pays for 2 kids, the husband pays for the other 2 kids and his own meal, and they're happy.
So here in Nigeria, what is the culture?
basically the guys get to pay for the bills, in my
sister,
opinion.
Leave matter, leave that thing. Do you know I was having a conversation with an Australian?
Okay.
And I was surprised because, when I was preparing for this episode, I just wanted to sample opinion. So I asked him as an Australian. I said, if you took your girlfriend out, your wife or whoever, would you expect to split the bill with her? Would you want to pay? He was like, well, to be honest, the fact that he even felt the need to be careful answering that question spoke a lot.
Okay.
Maybe he thought I was this progressive, like, oh, we must split the bill.
Yeah.
So he had to, like, first of all,
something.
apologize, sort of, be careful, be diplomatic and all. And he was like, to be honest, I am old-fashioned. You see, he called himself, I don't think anything is old-fashioned about, like, I love it. If you're a guy, you want to take me out, pay. You're not old-fashioned. That's just it. You're initiating the date. You want to spend time with her, pay. If the lady wants to take you out, then she will pay
too, yes.
Well, of course, if you're now gentle marriage to power 2, even if she takes you out, you can be like,
pay.
Yo, babe, what's up? I love you so much. So I'm gonna pay for this.
Yeah.
But you see, that's an Australian.
Okay.
So this is, I think this is more of an individual thing, than it is about culture. Because the couples that you talked about in the country you visited, they decided that this is how they're going to do it. And that's why the wife feels okay paying. For me,
they had a conversation. They probably
had that conversation.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's about culture. I think it's an individual thing. So you and your partner agree. Are we going to have a relationship where we split the bills? Are we going to have a relationship where the man does it? Or, is it going to be the woman? And again, you need to look at who has a higher earning power. Like, is the woman working in, the oil and gas industry or something? I had a lecturer in school. She said she doesn't care how much she's earning. Her hair, her husband must take care of it.
Wow.
As a matter of must.
Yeah.
As a matter of necessity, the man must pay. So there are people like that.
In my opinion, even the Bible said it. The man is the head.
Coco.
Yes, so
okay.
The man is the head. And
so he should be the financier.
The woman is like a helpmate. So naturally, in my personal opinion, the man should foot the bills.
Amen.
Then when you get comfortable with the man, like in relationship, you can now start supporting. One more last thing, budget. When you go out on a date with a guy, sometimes some ladies ask, what is your budget? Some men find it embarrassing.
Yeah.
But I do it sometimes actually, so that I don't order for what is going to be like.
How did the guy take it? I mean, when you asked him, guy, what's your budget?
I was already comfortable with him.
Okay.
At that point, so he didn't see it.
Like he answered. He said,
yes,
this is how much I'm
answered, kind of. So I was able to order something within that range.
Okay.
And then it was okay by me because we were already flowing.
Yes, you guys were comfortable.
Then. Yes.
Okay, so lessons to take home from this. One, always have money on you. Always have money. It doesn't matter who's paying or anything. Just always have money on you, so that if you find yourself in a situation like Coco, you know what to do. You can help yourself out. Two, depending on the man, you can ask him, dude, what's your budget? So that you don't order above his budget for that date and stuff like that. Now, for the gentlemen out there, when you want to take a lady out, please have money.
Be prepared.
Okay? Many ladies are not saying it, but they actually like the old-fashioned men, the men who want to take responsibility. So when you want to take a lady out, please have money. And for the ladies, be considerate. It's not because somebody wants to take you out now. You now want to go and finish his money. Do you understand? Be considerate, okay? Anything that you cannot afford on your own, when you are placing it on that person's pocket, just have mercy. Except of course it's like, babe, spend my money, spend this money, and you can spend. And don't forget to go check out Coco's Twitter and read his full story for yourself and learn. I think there's a lot to learn from that lady. So do you have like a handle, Instagram handle, or Facebook or Twitter? Where are you at?
I'm on Facebook. I'm scared of Twitter because of the savage
industry.
Yes, so I'm on Facebook.
All right, what's your name?
Lacey Vilawa.
Okay, so it's your girl Keziah Vilawa, and you can check me out on Instagram at Keziah_Vilawa, and this podcast is also on Instagram at YoungInLove_podcast. You can find us on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Spotify, Radio Public, Pocket Casts, and wherever you find your podcast actually. So till when next we meet, bye and be good.
Young in Love.